Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, all of my beautiful friends from the internet. I hope each and every single one of you is having an absolutely spectacular Tuesday morning, or whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast episode, whether that be morning, evening, or night. This is the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. Now remember, if you're listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, wherever your little beautiful ears listen to this podcast over the radio wave frequencies, please remember to leave us a rating, and also please leave us a review. You have absolutely no idea. It helps with the show so much, immensely. It is so powerful. So please go ahead and leave us a rating and also leave us a review. Remember that you can respond to this week's question by going to Spotify and going to the most recent episode, clicking the description, and in there should be an icon that allows you to respond to this week's episode, and you will be notified when your response is published, and I will read that response out loud on the next week's following episode. So this is an ad-supported show, so we'll take a break right after we're done reading responses from last week, and then another ad break, about maybe 20 to 30 minutes in after that. Please also go to our subreddit. We've got a subreddit where there's a new mega thread posted every Tuesday that is about discussing the newest episode, so please go to r/Reddit Asks Us on Reddit and go and join the community there. So please go ahead and do that. Also check out my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channel where I post new short form content every single day. That's right. Every day. I am here to serve my beautiful friends on the internet. Okay, I love making content and I enjoy the stuff that I make, and I just want to add a little bit of spice into your life, maybe potentially even just a tiny little bit that I could sprinkle there with my little middle thumb, just slightly pressing against my middle finger and my forefinger. Just how the Salt Bae does it, just to sprinkle a little bit of happiness, a little bit of joy in your life for maybe 30 to 45 seconds. So please go out and check out those outlets. I think that's everything for the opening of the show. I always have so much to say, but why don't we head into reading the responses out from last week's episode. So also, yes, we have a poll this week. We have a like we do every week. So let's read out the poll from last week. So last week's poll was: would you rather need no sleep and have 100% energy, or eat anything you want and it was healthy? So we had a 4-10 split. Thank you everybody for voting. 14 votes. That is incredible. Thank you everybody for voting. We had a 4-10 loss for no sleep. So overwhelming the majority, 70% of it, people said they would eat anything over no sleep, which is, I think it just depends on your lifestyle. That's kind of one of those ones where it could be anyone, but you know what? Being able to eat anything with no consequences is very, very compelling, I have to say. Okay, folks, we're having a weird thing with the Q&A. I'm going to have to talk to Spotify about this because for some reason I am not able to see the Q&As on my podcasting app, which is really annoying, but I can see the ones posted from last week if I actually go to Spotify. So hold out. If the question's not posted this week, I'll eventually get something posted, but I'm going to have to reach out to Spotify because I am very concerned about this. So first one comes from Stressed Human. I was a lonely kid. Oh, so last week's question, was what was the weirdest rule at your friend's house? And Stressed Human says, I was a lonely kid and never really went to friends' houses, but I love the podcast, and thanks for always making my Tuesday great with this podcast. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I always say, you don't, even if you have something that doesn't necessarily relate to the question, if you just want to mention something about the show, it does really help in general. So so if you have nothing to say, even just want to comment on the show, please go ahead and do that. Next one comes from L Dude. I think that skipping nights of sleep without consequences would lead to consequences. Yeah, fair enough. That was for the poll. I would probably find myself staring at a screen for 8 hours a night. It would also be nice to eat cabanos every day. Yeah, I bet. I wouldn't doubt it. I absolutely wouldn't doubt it. And in case anyone doesn't know, But L Dude and I he has challenged me to go and seek out Cabanos, and I am still on my journey of going to seek them out. So that is, I hold me to it though. I must be held accountable. Everyone must be held accountable for their actions on this show. Next one comes from a special little cat. Hello, Luke. If you didn't, you skipped my comment 2 podcasts ago. Sorry. Now in the hospital after having a seizure. Holy crap. So you better read this or it's over for you. And I got a TV and ice cream in my room. I didn't mean to skip your comment. So I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, again, some weird stuff's happening with the Q&A feature on Spotify. So I'm going to have to reach out. I know they did some maintenance recently, and it was maybe that it might even be today. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, so please hold out for that. And I apologize. Next one comes from Phil Savannah. What's going on, Phil? A friend farted and his mom made him face the corner for 10 minutes since it wasn't in the bathroom. The same family made people kiss the door if you slammed it. Also, you couldn't pee on the water. They were listening. They were just out there with the little hand to the ear on the door of the bathroom like, are you pissing in the fucking water? No. Listen, one thing you need to understand about this household is if I hear a little dribbles of piss in the water, you're out. How do you expect it to make it in this world, okay? This is a modern society. We have demands. Okay, you'll never make it in the world. What are you going to make a business deal, sit down, talk shop with all the CEOs and the board members and just like you own the fucking place. And then next, what happens next? You head to the bathroom and they can hear your piss dribbling? Yeah, not a chance. Yeah, you're not going to make it a second in the corporate world, okay? Nice try. Learn some fucking respect. Next one comes from Spicy Stick. This is the last one here on Spotify. More like an anti-rule, but being allowed, it being normal for them to wear shoes on the carpet inside. This is like a weird thing all like in some places. It's just generally like, I don't understand the whole shoes on the inside. It's like, yeah, I stepped in some dog shit outside, but it's no big deal. It happens, and I guess we'll just have to clean the floor, and you know how that goes when you walk inside and you've been walking in dog shit all day, and then at some point you just got to be like, I guess we just got to clean the floor a little more often. I feel like I just don't understand the reasoning there. It's like, well, have you ever tried taking off your shoes? Or here you want an easy solution, and this is what I do. This is what my parents do. This is easy solution. Easy solution. Have inside shoes. Then a pair of shoes you only wear inside. This is what we have. Slides. I wear my slides around everywhere. I like in the house. My slides are always on. Of course, no one likes walking on the concrete floor. Okay, that's pain. You know those commercials where they show like where you have pain, like it's like a commercial for like Robax or something, or like Tylenol, and it shows like or even like an orthopedics. Yeah, this is like a commercial for like Dr. Scholl's, and it shows like an animation of someone's foot stepping on the ground, and like those red like lightning bolts shooting up somebody's leg saying you have pain. That's what it feels like walking on a floor with no slides and nothing, like just walking on a floor bare feet. I salute you. I think that's probably up there with the level of difficulty of Navy SEAL training, is walking around your house consistently with no shoes or no slides on. Like just raw dogging it right on the floor. The only image I can get in my mind is shooting pain up, like it's like nerve pain that you get. It's actually unbearable. I really honestly think that it's unbearable. So, and then we have one last comment here from the Dopic on the subreddit, which please go to the subreddit just in case the Q&A isn't working this week. Go to the subreddit. r/Reddit asks us to respond on there because I will read those responses out loud. It's really unfortunate that something's weird is happening with the Q&A. Okay, so why don't we just? Oh, actually, we're gonna do the would you rather. So the would you rather for this week was: would you rather watch a video of all the times you've laughed in your life So a big compilation of all the moments of all the best, well, maybe just not all the best, but just the highlight reel of laughs and the biggest gaffes you've ever had, or a video of other people's best memories of you. So I'll keep this short, but the video that you've laughed, all the times you've laughed, you get to relive those jokes. There's like no amount of money that I would pay, or like it's unquantifiable the amount of money that I would pay to be able to relive some of the absolute just terror of laughter that I've gone through with friends in the past. I don't know if that's the best way of describing it, but it's a terrorization of laughter because of just stomach terrorizing laughter that I've had with my friends in the past. And then the video of people's best memories of you, keep in mind, that might not be very long. Like, it's, or a lot of them might even just be very mundane or uneventful because you have very, like, limited interactions with people. So you kind of got, it seems a little bit more personal. You gotta make a wise choice here. You gotta make a wise decision. All right, we're gonna take a quick ad break, and then we're gonna hop back in for this week's episode. All right, welcome back, everybody, all of my beautiful, gorgeous friends from the internet. So we're doing another installment of the episode. What was the quickest firing, or the quickest you've seen a new coworker get fired? Now, the questions every week aren't, you know, they can repeat sometimes, but there are some brand new comments here. So I don't necessarily even expect this week to be full of brand new comments, because we did this episode maybe like 5 episodes ago or so. But there are some really juicy ones in here. Like, some people, you know, you think sometimes that other people think logically and just like, you know, A to B to C, just like you feel like you do. And then you watch somebody's behavior and you're like, I think we're doomed. I honestly think I've lost faith. I just don't think that there is, and you know what, then it makes you question yourself and you're like, I feel like I don't even know if what I'm doing. What decisions have I been making? If this person thought this was logical and I'm making decisions, like what is the trajectory my life should have taken if I was actually making real logical decisions? Because now I don't even know what to believe. Like I feel like I'm in like the like a multiple universality type of simulation system now, and I'm just like, I have existential angst now. So first one comes from Exit Zero. She called the first day and said her grandmother died. She called the next day and said her car wouldn't start. She called the third day and said her blow dryer broke, so she couldn't dry her hair. Never made it to work. I feel like those first two are in just a bit of a different league. Like it's just, those two excuses are like, okay, yeah, you know what? Grandmother died. That's a tough one. Obviously, like, I'm surprised you even took just only one day off for that. You couldn't come in for the one day. Like, that makes sense. And then, you know, the car not starting, that's undeniably frustrating, right? Maybe you live in an area where transit system sucks. It's just not convenient. And you're like, you know what? Why don't we just, you know, it's okay. Why don't we just start the next day? My blow dryer wasn't working. And listen, my grandmother dying is one thing, but if I come into work with wet fucking hair, you don't know, like, I feel like you just don't understand the gravity of the situation. Okay, my hair is wet. It is not going to dry properly. I feel like you're not understanding this. It can ruin, it can just make my hair frazzled and frizzled. Okay? You know what? Fuck my grandma. Fuck it. I'm gonna take a sledgehammer to my car now. If you honestly think that either of those two things are worse than me having to come into work, like it's crazy that you guys think, as my bosses, that this isn't on par with those things. Like, this is right up there with some of the most devastating things that could possibly happen to you. Like, it's even just for, it's like a meditation for me. I just need that little breeze of air in the morning. Just that little, you know, the feel it flow through my hair and it's revitalization. All right, this is like a meditation. This is like me entering my morning sanctuary, journaling, maybe annotating, reading a book or something. Right up there with that. And I think it's high time that we understand the true impact that blow drying your hair has on the human consciousness. It's inexplicable. All right, folks. Next one comes from Rude Consideration 64. Law enforcement agency. Dispatcher trainee hired as a favor to the parent who was friends with the head of the agency. Guy who was already annoying bragged and showed off that he was exchanging text messages with an underage female, even showing it to sworn officers. Went quickly from employee to client. This is why, bro. Just like he just skipped the whole like Jeremy, or is it Jeremy Hansen? Is that the guy who does the How to Catch a Predator thing? I think that's Jeremy Hansen, right? He just skipped the whole show. He was just like, turn me in. Yeah. I figured since I'm here, I might as well admit to one of the most heinous crimes that could ever be committed. Yeah. Yeah, well, I just stopped in to start up my new gig, start up the new job, and I figured I could get an in with you, right? This is the time for coming clean. This is the time, I'm working law enforcement now, gotta wipe the slate clean. I was texting a couple underage girls, okay? Sue me, all right? Throw me in the slammer. Throw me in. Put my hands behind my back. Just put me in solitary confinement or something. It's just it's time that we understand that I'm coming clean about this. So why don't we just, now that I've come clean, why don't we just move on, right? Everyone makes mistakes. And we all have those moments of maybe not the best judgment, okay? But should these things follow us for the rest of our lives? Should they? It's like, yeah, well, this is kind of like right up there with like murder, rape, kind of being a pedophile. I think that's kind of, yeah, have you ever heard of Jeffrey Epstein? Yeah, he was a pretty bad dude. Okay, I think universally that's kind of agreed. Like, there's this debate we have here in philosophy. This is debate whether there's like a universal moral principle or whether morals are universal. I feel like personally, this is one of those ones where I just don't see anyone being like, you know what? I think we should rethink this one. You know what? I might have to get in front of the town square here. Okay, I might have to put my neck out on the chopping block, as they would say. And you know what? I think this policy we should reconsider. I think there's room for interpretation here. Okay, I think there's some room for some expansion, some open-mindedness, maybe some growth. Yeah, we're gonna throw you in jail for the rest of your life. This is I think the chance you get out, there's no possible way that you should be allowed within, I think probably like a 50-kilometer radius within any school. Like this why would you brag about that to officers? Like what do you think is going to happen? What do you think they're going to be like? Yeah, I do that shit all the time. Yeah. Wow, you really fit in here quite well. You came in here with the right idea. Yeah, we all we stay committing crimes. All right, here. Well, I mean, it's not entirely actually wrong, but I feel like maybe not those kind of crimes. I think those ones are maybe there's a select few, but I don't think it's the whole department. It's like, what? I thought all cops were dirty. With all these things I'm hearing about the cops in the news recently, geez, I thought you guys would be a little more chill. Come on. It's like, yeah, well, I think this one crosses the line. Like this one doesn't just cross the line. I think you're taking leaps and bounds. Like this is one small step for man, one giant step for mankind type of bound across the line. This is a jump to the moon across the line. Next one comes from Ill Organization 719. A guy refusing to wear safety gear on his first day. He flat out said no to the supervisor, who then fired him. He didn't even make it to the first coffee break. If he was that adamant about not wearing safety gear, it wasn't a good sign. See, what you're not understanding here, boss man, big hoss, is... Have you ever heard of this phrase, I'm simply built different? Mr. Bossman, do you know what a Giga Chad is? Have you ever heard of a Giga Chad? Have you ever heard of looks maxing? Have you ever heard of mewing? Okay, I know the topic is gonna hate this, and a lot of my maybe older listeners are not gonna have any idea of the words that I just said. But suffice it to say, I am simply a different breed. That sounds like something Donald Trump would say. If Donald Trump had to work at a construction site, he would be like, "Listen, I don't know what you think you need to know about PPE, but I've never worn it a day in my life. Okay, I'm totally fine. You have to be quite sharp, okay, to work as long as I have, and I've never worn it. What do you think? You know what PPE is from? You know where safety gear is from? It's from China, okay? Do you really think you should be wearing it? No, I'm not going to support it. Not a single bit. Okay, we're going to build a wall, and I'm going to build it, and I'm not going to wear any safety gear, okay?" Yeah, this is just Trump trying to get a job at a construction site. It's like, well, what happens when steel rebar falls on your head and crushes you and kills you? It's like, well, I don't know if you know anything about strength, but you know those situations when people find inhuman strength in times of hardship, when they just have to lift a car? It's like, yeah, okay, that's me all the time, okay? I feel like you're still not getting this. I am the embodiment of the Youre Too Small celebration, okay? From football and basketball. Like, you are too small. All right, I'm in a different league, I think. You guys don't understand. I have that stuff that Wolverine had in his claws coursing through my veins. Like, what is it called? Adamantium or something? Did I actually remember that? God, I'm such a fucking nerd. I've got that coursing through my veins. I'm just going to be like Professor X, like just telekinetically, or Magneto even, just get out of the way. I just got quick reflexes. You don't understand. It's like, I played high school football. Like, do you not understand? Like, my reflexes are too quick for that. Something comes falling, bro. Like, I ran like a 4.5 in high school. All right, like that's a beast. I don't think you understand how beastly that is. I'm gonna see that coming. All right, like this is not a chance. Yeah, you're fired. Like, you have no chance of getting any job in physical labor whatsoever. I actually know a buddy of mine was doing field work recently for his job, and he's like a computer dude, but yeah, that's what his job title is, computer dude. That's what he got hired as, in case any of you guys were wondering. Computer dude. He's tapping those keys away just like a dude on a computer does. Anyways, he was working out in the field recently. And it was just like, doesn't often work out in the field, but he was there, and he was wearing a hard hat, and he had opened up this transformer box or something, and they were checking it out, trying to make sure it was designed, blah 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 blah, and the wind pushed the cover down and smoked him in the head, and the doctor said that if he wasn't wearing a helmet, he would be disabled for the rest of his life, and if he wasn't disabled, he would have been dead. So, wear safety gear, folks. Please wear it. It's very important. I feel like none of us want to end up dead. Okay? It's like, you don't realize, we're doing this for you. We're not like, I don't care if the hat looks dumb, okay? I don't care if you don't like the color of the hat. All right, the hard hats we have are blue, sir. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. It's like, yeah, can we get a little bit more fashionable, PPE? I'm not wearing this, okay? Did you even see Gucci Gucci's new lineup this year, this is nothing, okay? They even put out hard hats, and they would stomp all over these. Can we get some actual fashion design in here? This is revolting. Next one comes from Darth Syphilis. That's, honestly, if syphilis wasn't a sexually transmitted infection, that actually sounds like a real Sith Lord's name. Darth Syphilis, the brother of Darth Sidious. Do it. God, I'm such a nerd. Next one comes, from Darth Syphilis. Within the first 2 hours of training with me, she asks where she can go and have a smoke. I told her just outside there's a smoking area. She proceeds to walk outside in front of all the supervisors and lights up the biggest blunt and openly smokes it. She got walked out 5 minutes later. In case anyone doesn't know what a blunt is, that is marijuana. She just chiefing on some herb, all right? She's just absolutely snarfing on some DARP, okay? Just cross-jointed, double cross-jointed, snarfing up, chiefing up some of that good old Mary Jane right outside the building, okay? I just don't, like, again, what she would, like, what was her justification? Like, it says no smoking. It doesn't say there's no smoking weed. Like, what are you, a freaking lawyer? Like, I don't understand. Like, how are you reading this? How are you reading into this? This is just general. You can extrapolate from the general no smoking. But yeah, and I think this is the problem. It's like people think that it's like smoking weed is like smoking a cigarette. It's like, no, this is a drug. It like impairs your body. It is impairing. Like you're gonna lose your like sense of, you're gonna lose some motor function. All right, this is like a common thing. And she's like, motor function? I don't drive a car. Okay, I don't know what motors you're talking about here. There's no motors here. We were working at a sporting goods store. There is no motors around, so I think I'm fine. It's like it's like this isn't a mall or something. She just stands outside the store in the mall, just lighting up a blunt. It's like, what? I thought this was like a chill workplace. So everyone said this is a open workplace, like open work environment, like friendly, open-minded work environment. Like, what? Like I feel like you're being unnecessarily discriminatory against me. Like, really? Just because I can't light up fat fucking blunts outside the store, I'm gonna get fired? How am I supposed to get through the day? How am I supposed to painstakingly get my way through this day without a little bit of, you know, the ganja to come and help me out? Like the chronic. That's what I'm looking for. That's the only thing that's gonna push me through this boring ass job. So, I mean, like, I think it should be mandatory for all employees to smoke weed before their shift. If you're going to ask me, it's like, that's what every stoner says. Every stoner's just like, and here, I feel like we need a rule that says weed before every shift. Because, like, work's boring. And I'm just trying to make that bank, man. I'm just trying to make the bank, you know, so I can just chill, man. What's up? Like, just chill out, dude. It's just a little fatty blunt outside the building. Like, relax. It's not even a big deal. It's not even like I'm that inebriated. I literally smoked before I got here, so it's not even like it's literally fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't see a comeback from this one. I don't think that this is like something you can be like how you can't even just like that's not. Even if people look down upon smoking cigarettes and be like, what? Like, you can't fire me because I'm smoking a cigarette. You can't be like that with that. It's like, you can't be like, it's like, yeah, like, what? I freaking shotgunned a beer outside. Relax. Like, I literally slammed an entire Mickey of Captain Morgan. All right? It's literally fine. Okay? I can totally operate this forklift. I'm actually better at operating a forklift when I'm drunk. Okay? I feel like, it's like, what? I just took a giant dose of ketamine before I came into work today. I feel like it's fine, all right? I'm gonna be just as normal as everybody else, okay? Can we not normalize this? Normalize shotgunning beers before work, okay? Normalize this, normalize that. Normalize smoking fat blunts before I head in for my shift. Jeez. Next one comes from Shavestvald or something. When I worked in data entry, there was a tricycle on our office floor, just added as a relaxed bit of fun by the managers, who were all very chill people. One of the girls that got hired around the same time as me would, instead of working, just ride the tricycle around the office all day, every day. When we showed up in the morning, she wouldn't even log into her computer. She would just get right on the tricycle and ride around talking to people until she left to take her lunch break. The day she got fired, she had to be escorted out of the building because she was screaming about, you're targeting me unfairly. You're targeting... Okay. We're not necessarily targeting you unfairly because you haven't done any work. We haven't... So this is a company where we require you... This is a business where we require you to do work for us in order to get a paycheck. It's like... I'm literally lightening the mood, okay? I feel like you're not giving enough credit to how much my joyful attitude is transcendent through this environment, is permeated through this environment by me on the tricycle. Okay, isn't that what the tricycle is for? Right? It's for lifting spirits. This is such a drab office. We have overhead lighting. Okay? This is where, like, everyone's working in cubicles. I'm just trying to go around, you know, with my little horn on the end of the tricycle, you know, and just put on my clown nose, you know, make a couple jokes, and wish everybody a happy day. I feel like honestly, there needs to be company restructuring, right? We're always talking about we need to move things around, we need to change positions. People are constantly moving in and out of the company. I feel like we need to bring in this position because this seems vital to the health of the company. Every office deserves a tricycle. And I don't understand. This is another thing I don't get either. Like, who thought the tricycle was a good idea to have in the workplace anyways? Like, just having one in there? Like, just having a tricycle in the office. I mean, they kind of invited this behavior, if you think about it, into their office space. Because I just don't see, like, which supervisor is being like, you know what this office is missing? 3 wheels. And a seat. I think we could really spice up this office if a bicycle is just, it doesn't know. It's like, well, sir, we could put a bicycle, you know, in the office, maybe on the wall, maybe just encourage people. We could have an elliptical or a bike machine where people can get some exercise, you know, get up from their work. It's like, no, that's not enough. That sounds boring. Okay. We need something more fun. We need something more whimsical, I think. It's like one of those tricycles with the giant wheel from the 1920s. You know, everyone, if you, like, in order to ride the tricycle, you have to dress up in, like, a tuxedo and like, one of those little bowler hats, you know, like Charlie Chaplin or something. It's like that music is playing the whole time in the... Yeah, we need a constant office chase scene. Like one of those silent movie chase scenes in the office, and then someone can just hold up cards with dialogue on them saying, you know, like, get back to work. No, I'm gonna ride the tricycle this afternoon. I don't see it. Who thought it was like that's what the office was missing. You know what? We really weren't getting a lot of productivity before, but you know what? Once we added that tricycle, things really changed around here. Things really changed around the office once we added that tricycle in here. I just don't see how... Yeah, it's like, yeah, that makes tons of sense. Next one comes from Jim the Jersey Guy. Back in the mid-1990s, I had hired a guy for... This one's a long story, by the way, folks, so strap in. Back in the mid-1990s, I hired a guy for Senior Unix Systems Administration role. I have no idea what that is. It was made quite clear in this posted job description, the interview process, and on his first day... This role would be required to be on call a few nights per month on a rotating basis with the other Unix admins. Does this company even exist? I don't even know what this is. The salary reflected that as well. This was a 6-figure position. He was issued a company laptop and a cell phone for his on-call work that could be done from home. As part of the onboarding process, our Unix lead admin wanted this guy to shadow him on his call evening so that he could see how processes differed in the off hours. It was his second day on the job. That evening, I happened to be working a bit late, and the help desk calls me and said they've got an issue that needs to be escalated to the Unix team, and asking if they've got the right number for the new guy because it's just ringing and going to the default voicemail mailbox. I tell them to call the lead admin to get him working on the issue, and that I'll contact the new guy myself. I call, same thing, voicemail, multiple times. I fish out his employee documents that are still sitting on my desk to find his home phone number. I call and get about 3 words out of my mouth, and he responds, "Why the fuck are you calling me at home?" and hangs up. A bit in disbelief, I look back at the paperwork and verify, yes, this is his phone number, and try it again, thinking maybe he'd mistaken me for somebody else. I receive a similar bit of vitriol and a hang up. I contact the lead admin and inform him he won't be having the new guy join him that night or any other. We immediately killed all of his system access and his door card, and HR was waiting for him at the reception area first thing in the morning. This dude just really screwed it up for himself. You just absolutely bombed a 6-figure salary. It's like, yeah, you know the job that we told you were supposed to do? You actually have to, like, do it. You kind of have to, this is kind of part of the job description, is actually completing the work that's assigned to you. It's like, you know what? You're supposed to be on call tonight, and we're looking for you to get some work done, and you know, it's only like a couple nights a month, maybe like 1 or 2, or you know, on the larger end, 3 nights a month maybe. And it's really not that difficult at work. It's just, you know, kind of handling some emails and, you know, redirecting people. It's pretty simple stuff. What the fuck? Yo, you fucking asshole! Did you see? What? I'm reporting you to the fucking police. Like, what is this? This is fucking draconian. Yeah, and what's next? What's next? Hard labor? What am I, Sisyphus? You gonna make me push a giant rock up a hill for the rest of my life, or all of eternity? Yeah, nice one. Way to rope me in. It's like, well, you know, you will be getting paid double, you know, like time and a half overtime, you know, that will be reflected in your salary. So, you know, just, you know, make sure you mark those nights, and we'll give you the appropriate compensation, because we know that nobody obviously wants to be working from. Fuck you! What? Are you fucking serious, dude? What? A call? I have to be answering emails? Dude, what? What do you want me, planting crops? What do you want me, harvesting the fields? Like skip the cow. Why don't you just tie all the farm equipment to yourself and just plow the fields? Yeah. Why don't I just go ahead and do that? Yeah. You ever heard of slave labor? Okay, this is unjust. This is a violation of my human rights. Being on call, answering emails. This is ridiculous. I'm reporting you guys to the Bureau of Employment. Okay. The Bureau of Employment. I don't know. It's called different things in every country, so I'm trying to be inclusive with the name. So please don't judge me, folks. Yeah. Well, this is the Bureau of Employment calling you. Do you have a job, by the way? Next one comes from Cannonbomb. Worked at a place where you couldn't be colorblind because you were reading schematics and identifying connectors of varying different colors. There was hundreds of tiny connectors in one array. Somehow, by the grace of God, this guy got hired. Either they forgot to implement the CB test, or he successfully guessed his way through it. That's insane. The statistical probability of you being able to guess your way through a color blindness test, come on, dude. He trains for a week and is put onto the line to build $20,000 cables for fucking missiles. He trains for a week. It's like, what were they doing when they ever asked him to, like, step in and, like, show us what you would do in this situation? He's like, you know what? I think honestly, I think John should step in. I think he needs the extra help. I think, you know what? I've seen his work, and it's shoddy. Isn't, yeah, like, John, you would admit that he's, like, the shyest guy there. He's like, what? Yeah, like, I've seen, you know what, John, we you know, it's come on, just hop in there, and why don't you take this rep from me? I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling this one. I think I'm made for bigger and better stuff. I'll wait for the real thing. I don't want you to waste my potential on something that John over here could do. You could do that, John? He's like, I guess. Sure, like, I'll go for it. He's like, yeah, why don't you? Let's give it a hand for John, everybody. Why don't we give a hand for John? Good job, man. Way to step up to the plate, okay? This is the things we look for at this company, all right? We are all about everyone, picking up the slack and getting the work done and, picking up for your fellow workmen. I think that's, just great job, John. Just go ahead, get in there, do that, and don't ask me to do some bullshit like that ever again. His very first connector he spent all day on, soldering and connecting and signing the paperwork and the steps, and gave it to quality control for inspection. It was one of the most fucked up examples of a connector anyone had ever seen. The next day, the guy admits he's colorblind, and whether he can keep the job, he's let go because he cost the company $20,000. The connector was put on display in HR to drive home the importance of sticking to hiring procedures. That's fucking insane. The fact that he's like, can I still keep the job though? Listen, I know I almost caused a massive explosion and killed everybody in this building and within the vicinity of a couple kilometers of this building. But can I still keep the job though? You guys seem pretty chill. All right. You guys seem like a group of really forward-thinking individuals. So why don't we just skip all the nuance and, just all the procedures and stuff. And you know what? I'll learn on the job. Okay, you can't learn on the job because you're fucking colorblind. All right? Like this is like trusting that person in the action movie who's like, okay, you need to cut the red wire. He's like, the red, what's red? What do you mean, what's red? Like, you can't trust a colorblind person with potentially, it's like they're working in like a nuclear bomb facility. He's just like, so yeah, once, I connected the red wire to the red wire and the blue wire to the blue wire. It's like, these wires are purple, dude. Like, this is going to explode right now. Like, this is going to, and that just wiped out the continental United States. So, congratulations. No, you cannot keep the job. I'm really sorry to inform you, but there are some jobs that, and it's like, this isn't even discrimination. Like, this is not discriminatory hiring practice. Because if you cannot see color, you will kill everyone. It's like, you can't even claim, like, this is discrimination. It's like, okay, what are we going to hire, a blind pilot? You need to see where you're going. Okay, I wouldn't trust a blind Uber driver. Okay, like, what am I, like, you did something I think the most integral, like, okay, I would trust an Uber driver, maybe someone, they lost a leg in an accident, so they're using a little thing to help them out, steer the pet, or help them out with the car, the pedals or whatever. You know what? Totally cool. It's not like a big deal for me. I'm glad you're able to get, this job and you can drive. It's great. Because finding work and you have some sort of disability is probably not very easy, which is totally sympathetic to that. However, if my Uber driver came in wearing the blacked out blind glasses with a seeing eye dog in the passenger seat and his red and white, or their red and white cane just picking up, it's like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm blind, but you know what? Sally here, my trusted sidekick's gonna guide us all the way there. So, Union Station, Sally. She's just barking, like, okay, I guess. Fucking crashes the car. Next one comes from Severe Performer 726. It's like, Sally, what were you? Sally, I trusted you. It's like, yeah, well, dogs don't know directions. They don't know where to drive. Hired my friend's sister as a hostess at our restaurant. She called off her first shift 3 hours later, telling me that she was having a tough period. 30 minutes into her dinner shift, She started posting pics on Instagram of her being at a party in Canada. We live in New York. Fired her via Instagram. Never even worked, then tried to claim unemployment. Then had her father call me and try to threaten me into rehiring her. She was 34. Her dad is in his 70s. He was in his 70s. Legitimately, that's like he was old. He was an old man. And he's like, I don't even know what I'm calling about. She said that you guys hired her and you just fired her for no reason. It's like, no, she claimed she was having a tough period. She's like, well, I technically didn't lie. I mean, when you take a bunch of Molly, you have a tough period of time after you've done that. Your brain is kind of fried. I don't know if you know anything about having fun, all right? I don't know if you've ever been to a rave before, but, you get the Molly hangover. So I feel like you're not really being sympathetic to that. I never said what kind of period, all right? Like, geez, I feel like you're being a little bit like, who are you, freaking Sherlock Holmes? Like, I don't think you need to press me hard on this. Like, this is just, let it go. I had a tough period of time after I did a massive dose of ketamine, okay? Like, relax. I was really trying to enjoy Dead Mouse at the music festival, okay? It's not even that big of a deal. So I think that you're peeking a little bit too much into my personal life, all right? And I'm uncomfortable with that. I don't like the fact that you follow me on it. It's like, what do you mean follow you on Instagram? We're like adjacent friends. Like, I know you. I've been going to elementary school with you since like we were in the second grade. Like, I've known you my entire life. Like, I was literally probably one of your first Instagram friends. Like, but I'm not peering. I'm not creeping into anything. You requested to follow me. Like, this isn't even. I don't see your logic. It's like, yeah, well, yeah, you're being a little invasive. It's being a little bit too much. Next one comes from Catacombs Rave. As a teenager, I worked in a bowling alley. Within an hour, a coworker was fired for dropping a ball on the foot of a complaining patron. It's like, what? What do you mean that's against company policy? He was being a fucking asshole. Like, it's like, all right, you can't. It's like, sure, I offered him to get him a new ball, so I came out of the back and I got him a new ball and dropped it on his freaking foot. I was like, yeah, just for that, I'm taking away your bowling privileges, all right? That's what my mom did to me when I was a kid, okay? When I talked back to her, is no more games, okay? No more video games. There's no more Xbox, okay? I'm like, fine. Then no more bowling for you. So I was like, how do I get him to stop bowling? I just fucking dropped a bowling ball on his foot. It's gonna heal, okay? It's not like it's a death sentence. His foot's a little crushed, okay? Fine. He's gonna have a little bit of a flat foot for the rest of his life. I wish I was flat-footed, okay? Everybody wishes they were flat-footed. His shoes fit better. My arches are too high. Okay, he's probably thanking me. If anything, he should be thanking me right now. I don't understand why you're putting out an assault charge. Like, this seems a little bit over the top, if you ask me. Well, you kind of assaulted somebody. It's like, you know what? Standard procedures when someone's being difficult, you say, I'm sorry, you're not welcome here, sir. If you please leave. If you don't leave, I'm going to have to call security or I'm going to have to call the police to remove you from the premises. This is a private business. He's like, why don't we just skip all that? Why don't we just do it ourselves? Why can't I just, like, do it myself? Why don't I just bring, like, a friggin' knife in and just, like, threaten him, I feel like that, like, who's gonna run away faster, okay? I'm the one with the knife. It's like, I'm starting to feel unsafe right now. I'm starting to feel that this conversation is not going the way that I wanted it to. And, I just stay right here, will you, for a second? I think I've just got a couple calls to make. Yeah, hello, 911. I hired a sociopath. I hired a violent sociopath. So please help me. I'm scared. I hired Homelander. Next one comes from Goose. Orientation second day. He's to sit in a conference room and read through binders of important info. Our boss walks out and closes the door. It has a window with blinds open to see through. Going about our day, the boss asks us why the conference door's locked and the blinds closed. Nobody is sure, so they get security to open the door to see this guy kicked back with the lights off, asleep. He had closed the blinds and locked the door. Of course, he was out there. He was out there that day. What? I was just trying to get a little bit of extra beauty sleep. How do you expect me performing at the top of my performance if you don't let me have a little bit of extra sleep? Fine. I had a bad sleep last night. Like, just, geez, I'm supposed to read through these binders? Like, relax. Come on. Like, it's not, like, I feel like this is not even, like, fair. Like, I feel like I should, like, who doesn't need, like, sleep is, like, number one. That's, like, what everybody says, okay? Like, this is, like, sleep is, like, the number one in, like, proven in your life. I got, like, sleep debt, okay? I have sleep debt, and you don't understand. You even know what sleep debt is? Okay, obviously you don't, so I was taking a little extra nap. What's even in these binders anyway? Like, whatever. Next thing you know, you're going to ask me to wear PPE. You're going to ask me to wear personal protective equipment, safety equipment. Or next thing you know, you're going to ask me to not smoke a blunt before I drive a friggin' forklift or operate a crane. What is this, friggin' Nazi Germany? All right? Okay, this is America. I can do whatever I want. This is freedom. Okay? I can, if I want to sit in here and just take a little snooze, a little nap, then fine, I'll do it, okay? It's like, whatever. It's just, give me the job, dude. When does the first salary come in? Next one comes from no one needed to know. A few days, the guy turned his camera on during a company-wide Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. and was laying in bed. Not even sitting up. He was laying down on a pillow, no shirt, holding his phone above him. The crazy part, he's like trying to fucking rizz up the chat. He's like, his shirt's off. He's like kind of flexing. He's got the arms behind his head. He's like, yo, what's up, everybody? Penelope, how are you doing today? Welcome to the meeting. Maybe you and I should go to a breakout room. Maybe you and I should start like a little breakout room together. I think me and Penelope should work on this one together, boss. Hey, like, why don't we just, put us in a breakout room together, just us two, and maybe we'll see what happens. Not even, so the crazy part was you didn't actually have to have your video on. They were optional in these meetings. 90% of the company keeps them off. Yeah, he was just trying to rizz somebody up. The response to all this was that he was never told what our working hours are. They were 8 to 4, bud, and if there was a company-wide meeting scheduled, probably safe to assume it's considered working hours. This dude is definitely Canadian. Working hours are 8 to 4, bud. Hey, buddy, working hours are 8 to 4, eh? I don't know if Buddy didn't obviously get the memo, that working hours are 8 to 4, all right? You're going to have to pay a little bit more attention to the working hours, bud. Yeah, trust me, that is, Western Canadians, that's exactly what they sound like. And a lot of them. But anyways, what is it? Like, what if he had the phone at, like, the end of his bed and his, like, feet were, like, kicked up? He's like, I just thought I'd bring a little bit of, like, a different vibe into the meeting today. I thought I'd just bring a little bit more of, like, just a little happy, joyful, whimsical vibe into the meeting today. Good to see you again, Penelope. See my shoulders? I've been going to the gym lately, hitting shoulders a lot, so hitting shoulders every day now, actually. I'm hitting shoulders every single day. It's like, that's actually terrible for you and really bad for your health. You're going to destroy your body. It's like, fine then, whatever. Can we start this breakout room session? Come on, like, how about we do a breakout room session, but it's like Jessica, Penelope, and Amanda just come into the breakout room session with me. Okay, and then we'll see where things go from there. We'll just have to play it out, I guess. Just like, it's kind of what we do here anyway. There's a lot of improvisation. So why don't we just do that? I'm just making myself. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Reddit Asks Us podcast. The podcast where we read and react to comments from r/AskReddit. I had so much fun here today with y'all this week. If you're listening to the show on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you get your podcasts, Spotify, please leave us a rating and also leave us a review. I believe by tomorrow you probably should be able to respond to this week's Q&A, but if not, please head over to the subreddit r/Reddit Asks Us on Reddit to respond there. Please check out my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channel at Reddit Asks Us, where I post new short form content every single day, and you can check that stuff out. And aside from that, please answer the question and answer the poll, and I will see y'all next week. Peace out. Love you. Goodbye.